Alright guys, in today's video I am going to be covering a deck profile for Warp Forge. I'm going to be covering the Necrons with the Relentless March commander. So I just wanted to show what rank I was. Been trying to get into the top 50, but like every time I go to sleep or go to work and I come back, they keep getting like further and further away from me, as is the problem with ladder systems like that. But I just went 10-0 in this little streak tonight, so I just wanted to show that, so you know the title is not clickbait. And also, whenever I guess I'm like really close to top 50 on the leaderboard, so what happens is whenever I verse anyone that's not there, I get like plus 17, plus 12, plus 11. I'm guessing that person was a lot closer to me. 13, 13, 13, and then 45. I actually went and checked. I think that guy was actually in the top 50. There was another one from not long ago. There was someone else that I got 40 something points from recently, and I checked, and they were also in the top 40, or excuse me, the top 50. See if I can find him. Not sure, maybe it was just so long ago. But yeah, basically I only get anything above like 15 unless they're really close to me or really way up there on the ladder. But anyway, this is the current deck. So what I was finding, I'm actually just going to go into everything and talk about, you know, why I kind of went the route that I went. So I really enjoy having this as a mana sink where you just get a permanent on the board creature. I think that's fits right into my play style. I like that a lot. I literally haven't played a single game with another faction on the ladder yet. This is gonna sound silly, but I've never played Warhammer or anything, and I love the color green, and I was like, oh, this is sick. Like, they kind of remind me of like, they're like necromancer robot, you know, take possession of you. Like, I'm a big Trekkie, so like they kind of remind me of the Borg too, and I like to play necromancer classes and stuff like that whenever I play fantasy games. So I just gravitated towards them, and I've been just tweaking it since the game came out on the 19th. So obviously you need the reanimation protocol. It's just sure one drop that brings something back. Protection protocol is the same thing, it just costs one more, but then you also get the flexibility of giving something plus 3 health in Vanguard, which does come up a lot, especially when you're trying to protect a key piece. And the early versions, the very early versions of this deck that I was building, Vanguard was like very, very loose, just wasn't really in there that much. And the more Vanguards I put in, the better the deck got. Tesla Immortal, just absolutely fantastic, really strong. I forgot the name of the class, but the one that's really similar, that it leaves like a remnant behind, but it's like blue. Really good for hitting that, really good for hitting orcs, you know, going wide. Really good in the mirror match because you can hit multiple remnants, and also, or you can hit a remnant and do damage without damaging the unit. So very, very strong. And also has remnant, which is great. This is one of my favorite cards in the game because you can attack with your commander and then attack with this and do basically 5 damage that doesn't affect your board state because he regenerates 2. So against, you know, almost all the lords, it's just free damage. Very, very strong, and puts in a lot of work under the right circumstances. Resurrection Orb, whenever I was forging a bunch, I got the legendary wild card, and this is the first thing I ever crafted in the game. Not much to be said there. It just can plus you a lot of tempo because you're bringing back things that cost 4, 5, 3, 2, all over the place. Basically, you get way more than 3 value out of it. And then even playing this on like, I've had games where, you know, I'll play the Relentless March, and then I bring it back with the 1 cost thing, play another Relentless March, and then they answer both, and then you know, I'll do something else and play this, and then I have like 3 things, and it just keeps the pressure going. So even on the low impact, it's really, really good. Technomancer is obviously completely insane, and that's another reason why having the Vanguard package that I have in here is really strong, because it protects these key pieces that just fuel the deck and keep the deck working. This card is like particularly broken whenever you are going second, because then you get the 0 cost defense stratagem that deals 1 damage and you bring something back. So you can play, you know, let's say it's Tesla Immortal on 2, and then they dump their entire turn trying to get rid of it. Then on turn 3, you between your commander and dealing 1 damage, you can basically clear their board a lot of the time, and then get this back and have a 2/4, and they're already just way behind. There's a 1 of Tomb Blade in here. This is definitely a flex spot, but again, along with introducing more and more vanguards, I've noticed that introducing more and more flank creatures is really important, because in this game, if you get behind, it's over. If this style of deck ever loses board control, you need to, it basically, like, it's a snowball-y strategy. And so any point where that's been eliminated, there's basically no comeback factor in the way that I've built this deck. And so flank is super important for keeping pace when you go second, and then just making sure that you're constantly pressuring whenever you go first. So it's really important, and that's why that's the 1 of. This card is absolutely phenomenal. The fact that it has 4 defense is really strong, and the 3 and 3 is really good, so it can't be pushed over by aerial units, or like ranged attacks, or by melee attacks. It's not lacking in either area, and it makes it really powerful. And one thing that I started doing lately is I will, like, let's say it's already has 2 damage on it, I'll kill it on my turn, so that way when I bring it back, it comes back at full health. And I've been doing that a lot more, rather than like having it be damaged, they get rid of it, and then give them the chance to get rid of the remnant. It's a lot better if you kill it on your own terms, and then bring it back at full health, and then make them deal with it at full health, if that makes sense. Alright, so again, this is back to the Vanguard package, and then it also has Remnant, and it just punches for a lot. Yes, it can get picked on by ranged attacks, but I think it's better than some of the other choices. For instance, I was playing this for a really long time, for a lot of games, I should say. And the problem is if your deck's doing what it wants to do, your deck's never, your board's never empty, and that's just not something that you really are wanting to try to achieve. And so playing a 4-drop 4/4, you know, is fine, but basically it was only ever really good, or even maybe even just okay, if you got the proc off, and you just don't get the proc off a lot. So I definitely will take the Vanguard any day. Okay, now this guy is an absolute beast. It basically is unfair. It robs the opponent of all tempo. So what will happen a lot is, let's say I have the 3-drop, you know, 3/3 or 4 defense, it's taunt, then I can safely like play this down on turn 4 a lot. And now whenever they try and counter pressure me or counter push me, I can just start stunning their board, and then just continuing to push forward, protecting my pieces. So then my pieces are now being protected by stun triggers and by vanguards. And then also it's really good even like on a turn 6, where maybe you clear the board except for the 1 big threat, you play this, then you play Relentless March, stun the thing, and then again you just start to snowball. So you use the vanguard pieces to protect it, and then you use it to further your snowball, and just ignore these like really big obnoxious units. So incredibly strong. This guy's MVP. This guy's MVP. I cannot tell you how strong this card is, and it's so strong for so many reasons. So like on turn 5, you can play this and reanimate it with the 1-cost stratagem. You can like have this already on the board on 4, knowing that it's going to die on 5, and then play the Technomancer and then Relentless March and bring it back. You can play it on turn 6, where you play it, crash it, and then play the 2-drop protocol to bring it back on 6 and slam into something else. This guy owns the board from like turns 4 to 6, and it's really powerful. Just an incredible card. Even when you hit something and it doesn't die, even though it has to attack, either it does 5 more damage to the opponent's commander, or if they played a Vanguard, then it still gets value. So it's just incredibly strong. I cannot stress that enough, how strong that card is. Okay, and now this is interesting. I was running the Arc for a long time, trying to make that work, the 7 cost, that whenever you play a stratagem, it makes a 3/2, and then also gives you Reanimate as a talent. but it was just rotting in my hand so many games, and I ended up just cutting it completely because basically if you need to rely on that to try and win the game, you probably already lost anyway. And so I still wanted something else besides the 2 protocols and the Technomancer to bring stuff back, so I did feel like I needed this. Regenerate is incredibly powerful, so you can slam this into an opponent's commander, only take 1 damage net for the turn, and it's a 3. It has 3 attack and 3 melee, 3 range, so it's not that bad stat wise. And then again, just getting Reanimate to bring the boards back to proc the things with Artifice, really strong. And I definitely think you should just run this and not run the Arc. I think the Arc is way too slow. I think it's way too greedy. At least that's my impression, and it's doing a lot better now that the Arcs are out. Okay, so fortunately I got very lucky, and I spent $50 on packs, and I spent $20 on the like, it's almost like a battle pass per faction. And this is, I only pulled 1 legendary, and I think it was this guy out of all, like, the $50 I spent. And I was like, man, are legendaries like really that hard to get? And they are. But then out of the what was it, I think it was out of the campaign section, I got 200 gold for one of the notches. That got me a pack, that got me a legendary. And then a different notch, it was like, gives you 4 random cards plus this thing. It might have even been like a green wild card, and I got another one out of that. So I got 2 legendaries within the course of like 10 minutes. And then this is the one I pulled, and then I crafted the resurrection orb. So I ended up with like a bunch of legendaries in the faction that I wanted for like no reason, which was really crazy. It might not have been a 200 gold pack. It might have been a pack that was like, you know, all the faction packs, and I got it out of there, which was really crazy. So really fortunate there. But anyway, Chronomancer, Regeneration 1, again, really like regenerate. When you deploy a troop, give it flank. And so, again, this is a really good way of just continuing to apply pressure. Also, Relentless March does deploy. And so you can have, you know, let's say you play it on turn 7, you'll have a 3-2 you can immediately attack with. And yeah, basically, if they can't answer this, they're in a lot of trouble. And again, this is another key piece of the snowballing nature of the deck that hides behind the stunning and all the vanguards. So really strong. And now Doomscythe is something that's kind of came in and out. It was a 1-0 for a while, just while I was testing it out. Again, whenever you're going second, it gives you such a good way of fighting back. And when you're going first, again, it's just a way of continuing to apply a lot of pressure without trading the current board state that you already have. And I find it just to be incredibly powerful. So you have like the Tomb Blade, the Destroyer, and the Doomscythe as just ways of just instantly trading on the board. I think it's really good. And then Guard is like so good. The 2 armor makes him absolutely obnoxious for the opponents, and then the Remnant just being able to bring it back all the time. And it's like they can spend like a turn or 2 trying to get over this thing, and then if they leave the Remnant up because they don't have any resources left because they spent so many just trying to kill it, and you bring it back, it's just totally heartbreaking for the opponent. Or even if they like whittle it down, then you attack with it, kill it on purpose on your turn, and then bring it back at full health, and like that can, you know, provoke scoops from the opponent. So it's just absolutely insane. It's an epic for a reason. Really crazy card. And then the Scythe Assault, like there's a lot of games where I feel like I just didn't need it, and then there's a lot of games where I feel like I'm like, oh, I'm so glad I had the card. So this is something that I'm still not like 100% sure on, but there's a lot of games I would have lost without it, but there's a lot of games I won without it too. So it's hard to say, but I do like that it damages the opposing commander. And yeah, I mean, I'm not comfortable taking it out yet. I think it's probably needed. And you know, it really sucks whenever you low roll and get 2 on something you needed to get 3 on, but that's just kind of the nature of the game. I'm assuming they're trying to simulate dice rolls, but that's okay. And then Necron Lord, this is one of the ones that I pulled out of a pack or one of the random things it gave me. So it has a Remnant, which almost makes it good enough to run on its own, being that it's such a big body. It has Regeneration 2, which is also really crazy. And then the talent is Indomitable Will, which chooses an Overlord power and puts it to your hand. And it usually, I don't remember if it's like set or not, because I've only got it off like 3 or 4 times. But it gives, you can get the spell that gives everything like +2/+2. I'm pretty sure you can get, I'm not sure if you can get Resurrection or not. I want to say you can get the spell that makes everything in your deck cost 2 less. But when it goes off, it is good. It is just a big body, and it does have Relentless. So that's my thought processes behind everything. Obviously, there's a million ways to go with this class. You know, people like scarab strategies. I tried on stream earlier today with this guy. I don't know. I just didn't like it as much as what I had been used to. And yeah, I'm definitely going to be streaming this game a lot and getting into some other classes. I really do want to hit the top 50 on the leaderboard, but it's just so hard to keep track with these guys that just play and play and play and play. But if any of you guys know, I would really appreciate it if you could let me know what makes a rank legendary or not. I'm not really sure how this works. Is it like a point threshold? Is it like 700, 750, whatever? And I don't know if you guys know if they plan on introducing like a traditional rank system, or if they're kind of always going to have this like... See, what does this mean, mid-division? See, this is mid-division here. But then here it says legendary rank. So if someone could clear this up, what all this means, I'd really appreciate it. But hopefully you enjoyed the deck profile. And yeah, I'll be playing this game a lot more. So if you want to sub to see more content or come check out a stream, that'd be awesome. And I'll see you guys tomorrow.